Hello, guys. I'm here with Ryan, the King of Kings, Phillips.
That's right, baby. Woo!
Right? He's the number 4 ranked heavyweight slap fighter in UFC's PowerSlap. And he was also a star on Season 1 PowerSlap Road to the Title that aired on TBS. And you have a number 1 contender fight scheduled in February from an unnamed opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, that's right, baby.
So PowerSlap is very controversial, right? A lot of people hate on it, right? It's okay. You drown out the noise. How did you manage to get into one of the most insane and controversial sports right now?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, it was it was pretty crazy how it happened because I was looking to get into a lesser known league, Slap Fight Championship, which was something that was pushing slap fighting more so into America, making it more of a sport with rules, things of that sort. So I was looking to get into that, and I signed up for that, but unfortunately things didn't materialize. But just out of nowhere, my friend was asked by a person named Gary DeFranco, who at the time was the creator head producer of The Ultimate Fighter. And he gave him my name. He said, this guy's perfect. He's a little WWE. He's a maniac. He's tough. And Gary DeFranco texted me and was like, hey, man, this is the UFC. Dana White's looking to start a slap league. And I heard that you're the guy. I said, well, let's go, baby. Show on. One speed go. And here we are today, man. I had one of the most legendary matches in the league. Ranked number 4, should be number 1. Just beat the greatest of all time and living life, buddy.
Yeah, man, when you first told me that you were going to do slap fighting, there was like 30 fucking question marks that I had over my head, and I just didn't know where it would go, but I knew that it's something that you would be really good at.
Yeah.
And clearly, I think you've been very successful so far at it. And so he was the original creator of The Ultimate Fighter. And he's the one that really got you into this and, got you introduced to Dana White eventually.
Yeah. Well. It was all thanks to Gary, man. Gary pushed me through, and he's actually a Cleveland boy as well. So it just all worked out. It was so crazy how everything just materialized out of nowhere. One day I was trying to get into this one league, and then the next day I have the UFC hit me up to create a whole new promotion. So, it was awesome.
So then you got it on the Road to the Title that was aired on TBS. I watched every one of those episodes, and you were by far the you're my friend, but most favorite part about the show was seeing you interact with. You were freaking hilarious on there, and I love to be able to. I love to to see that other people saw your personality and appreciated it. So what was that experience like, during the filming of that? Because it was a first season of Road to the Title. So what was that like?
Man, it was nuts. I've never been a part of anything like that before. I've done things, kind of crazy that were on TV when I was younger, but nothing to where I was the one in the spotlight, So the whole situation was just brand new. And, you having cameras following you 24/7. I mean, you almost couldn't take a leak without a camera being in your face. And it was new, but you kind of adjust. For me, I try to mentally get myself prepared before I do step into anything. So when they first told me I was going to be on the show, I already started thinking of how I'm going to act, how I'm going to be, and just try to manifest myself being in that time in my head, and it kind of helps me adjust to those moments. I kind of seem like it doesn't faze me, although I'm kind of freaking out inside, but I'm so far mentally prepared that it just flows, So it was a new experience. It was a lot of fun. I think I had a lot of push because before the show I had to qualify to even be on the show. And that was the qualifier event with the One-Eyed Wolf, where we were the main event for the very first PowerSlap qualifier, and we just showed out.
That was legendary.
Legendary, yeah. Even Dana White himself said it was like a legendary Hall of Fame match. So it was one of the craziest matches, but that catapulted me into the house. I didn't have to try out. I didn't have to fight to get into the house. I was automatically put in the house. because of that one fight. So I had a lot of confidence going in, and you know me, I'm just a confident guy in general. So I just did the best I could, and glad you like the personality. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I tell you that all the time. We've talked a lot, countless times about that, and that's one of my favorite parts.
Hell yeah.
About you. You have a very funny and great personality for the sport. So there's obviously, I would probably say over this past year on social media when it came to sports, PowerSlap was probably talked most negatively about any other sport in there. You've done a really good at drowning out the noise. So, did that unfaze you, or how did that affect you when you kind of started hearing all this negative shit about it, or what was your response to that?
Yeah, no, it seemed like it was par for the course. Honestly, it's not a brand new sport. It's been around for many years, but I mean, it's a brand new, let's say, adventure for Dana White. When you have Dana White's name attached to anything, hate's gonna come regardless. Everyone for some reason doesn't like that guy, probably because he's on the top of the mountain, It reminded me because I was around, I'm unfortunately I'm an older guy, but I was around when the UFC just began, and that got hate for days. I mean, it was barbaric. It was someone's gonna die tomorrow night, the next event. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm seeing with PowerSlap. Everyone's reacting the same way. It's something new and fresh, but you see the comments, and then you see the comment to like ratio, and it's like the comments are like 0.001% of what the likes are. I mean, the likes are in the tens of thousands, sometimes in the millions. So, just seeing that there's actually a lot more people who like it rather than people who oppose it. Because the people who obviously are the opposition are the loudest. It didn't bother me at all, and it gave me more confidence to keep pushing forward and keeping the cringe alive. You know what I mean?
Keeping the cringe alive.
Yeah, boy.
Seems like the heat's died down a lot though too. I followed PowerSlap on social media, and it doesn't seem like they get as many negative comments on that. Do you think it's because it's just kind of naturally taken its course already, and then it's do you think it's a little bit more like popular than it was now than when it first started? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the more people see it, the more people are adjusting. It's crazy to me that people are so worried about our health, the athlete's health, when they're watching UFC and watching guys get knocked out like Bobby Green. Bobby Green got KO'd and stayed in there for like a minute and a half getting punched in the face still unguarded while he's KO'd. And people will be like, oh my God, that was amazing. But then they'll see someone get, one hit in the face, and unfortunately might go unconscious, wobbled, or fall down. And they'll be like in an uproar about it. But you just saw a guy get not a double impact, but like 14 different impacts, 15 impacts after the initial knockout, which is super dangerous. So, no, I think the more and more it comes out and the more we perform, I think a lot more people are going to adjust. They're going to see that it's safer. A lot more people are coming out and talking about it. I think it's just the natural progression of things. I think it's just gonna the people who are the most vocal about it, have their followers, but now those people are turning around, and I think it's following through with their followers as well, like the hate was.
Oh yeah, and it seems like there's a lot of because I was fortunate to go to that event that you coached at, and I've told people a lot. I was even 100% about it. I was there to support you as much as I can. I'm like, okay, I want to really see what this is about. And when I seen it live, it was a different experience than I thought of, than I thought it was going to be. I was unsure what to think about, but I think how they set it up, and it was at the Apex. It was really fucking cool how they set everything up, and it was really close. A lot of celebrities there, a lot of athletes. It seems like there's a lot of support from those people, especially the people that hated it. When they go to see it, it seemed like everyone was like the oohs and ahs in the crowd, and they were really excited to watch it once they got there. Do you think that's helped change a lot of people's mind about it too? Is that like a lot of the celebrity support? And
I don't know. It's hard to say with the celebrities because the type of celebrity that we have there are all pretty violent people. I mean, we got like Deontay Wilder, Cowboy Cerrone. guys who are just violent by nature. So I'm sure their fans, if not already fans of it, are probably going to be more of a fan once they see those types of people. But I think what it is, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's like, you didn't know what to expect when you first saw it and you were there. I think that's going to be the biggest driving force to push this into the mainstream is when we start performing in front of just normal people. I think that when people see it live and they see, you saw the production, you saw how it was just one after another, nonstop. You've been to many MMA events. Such
it
as
ran really well.
Right.
Yeah.
There's downtime in MMA events. I feel like with this, it's just like, it's just a plow just coming through, once we get out on the road, I think once that happens, I think the whole shebang is going to turn around.
Yeah. I mean, I've likened this before to like, monster truck racing or something, I said like if, monster truck racing to NASCAR is like PowerSlap to like MMA, and it's super entertaining. And I remember it was like the first match, dead silent in there. There's like hundreds of people, and when you hear that first smack, you could hear it if you're in the freaking bathroom down the hall. It's intense, and I love seeing people's reaction afterwards too. You don't really see that unless it's like a big knockout in the UFC. But I felt like before every single slap, everyone was just like silent.
Yeah,
and you hear that, and it's just like crowd roars when people get knocked out.
It's like golf, Everyone wants to be silent for the swing, and then when the impact happens, everyone goes crazy. It's so cool, especially being a performer and being up there and getting a chance to rile everyone up too. It's just so much fun. Like I don't know why people don't like having fun anymore. All these people are hating on it. It's fun. It's sports entertainment. We're putting our health up there for everyone, and just sit back and relax and have fun.
I think you're great for the sport. You remind me like a Ric Flair, like a early version of like Ric Flair in the sport.
Hell yeah.
You talk a lot of shit. I love it. But you say some really clever, witty things, super humorous, and you got a lot of energy behind it. You've been a part of a lot of online brawls with some of these fellow slap fighters.
You know it, baby. Gotta keep things hot.
Countless ones. Did it always come natural to you having that type of personality, or you've been a big wrestling fan for a long time? Did that influence you in being who you are right now? And
yeah, it's weird. I've been watching wrestling. Me and my dad watched wrestling, fighting. My dad was a huge combat sports fan. I think with that upbringing, I think it did help shape who I am. But if you've ever, unfortunately, you're unable to. But if you ever met my father was outlandish. He was one of the craziest dudes. He had a beard down to here. He grew his hair out down to his butt. He looked like this big, gigantic biker guy. He was like 6'8". Like everyone was like, "What the fuck?" He took me to school. I remember one time I transitioned schools, and he took me there to walk me around. And my first day of actual school, all the kids came up to me and was like, "Your dad is scary." So no bullying when I got to that school, which was cool. But no, my dad was like this. I think my dad really rubbed off on me. He was my hero. Wrestling and everything like that. Watching that definitely probably rubbed off on my personality. But really, it's just me, man. I just like to have fun. I like to have a good time. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life to where, a lot of people probably couldn't live through. To be honest with you, it was some really harsh times. So I just like to forget about that, put that to the side, and just have fun, man. Whatever I do, I just like to have fun.
Yeah, it seems that's all you've been doing so far is just having fun. Obviously, through like a lot of these like heated arguments you get online and even in person. I'm sure you probably got into it with people at the last couple events too, or are you pretty mellow there?
No. I saw some of the guys that I did talk shit with, and I don't know, man. It's just whatever. Unfortunately, the guy that I really aimed at, he got knocked out before he came back and he saw me, and we were already like, when we see each other, it's on site. And I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna fight you after you just got knocked out, man. So it was just like, all right, you know. But no turmoil, just a lot of shit talking, a lot of Modern Warfare 2 style shit talking.
Oh yeah,
right, Mike.
That's perfect. That's what it reminds me of.
You know, I mean, that's where it's from.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It was so much fun on Modern Warfare 2. Why not have a lot of fun with it now with PowerSlap?
So it's really like Call of Duty mainly influenced your shit talking behaviors.
I would say more so Halo 3.
Halo 3?
Yeah, that was the big one.
Those kids were vicious.
100%.
I like retired from gaming after that. Like
yeah, I had to really like. Everyone's like, man, you're so smart with your talking. It's like, man, that Halo 3, you gotta be on your P's and Q's, man.
Probably sent some kids to therapy after that.
They sent me to therapy. Jesus.
So one thing too, skipping forward a little bit, the UFC PowerSlap game that you could download on your iPhone.
Yes.
You sent me a picture earlier of it, but I showed you that I screenshotted it because when I was on my Facebook, that came through as like an ad, and it saw your picture on there.
Yes.
So it's cool. You're in a video game now.
I'm in a video game. It's crazy, bro. I'm so like, and I just found this out yesterday, man. I'm just like, when you ask me, you're like, how you doing? I'm like, man, I'm just like crazy. I'm just feeling great, man. It's a dream come true. I'm a video gamer through and through. You know that, and I don't know. It's a dream come true, man. That's why I'm wearing these glasses, because I get a little misty-eyed talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're huge gamers, and I told you earlier, I'm jealous, but also like happy for you because that's friggin' awesome. I actually downloaded that after I saw that.
Yeah.
Just like you slap this bag, and then you slap like a freaking panda bear bag or something like that. I was like, all right, I'm aiming, because you got to fight like Wolverine, I think, at the end, or who's it? Is it Wolverine at the end?
Yeah,
right?
he's the first stage.
Okay, yeah.
There's like stages, and there's different people. Like the next stage is Chris Thomas, and I think the stage after that's the Crazy Hawaiian. I'm in the death match, so you can find me looking crazy. A weird choice though of pants. They gave me leather pants. I'm not really a leather pants guy. Kind of questionable. Thank God they're not assless, but I think you could change that in the game. So I don't know, if you like the King of Kings in leather pants, go for it.
What would you get to name your character? What would you name yours as? Do you name yours as yourself, or
I named mine the King of Kings. Yeah, well, first of all, I had a great character where I put a lot of hours in, and then they deleted it out of nowhere. And but yesterday marked the return, man. The return of the King on PowerSlap Mobile. I played it for like 7 hours trying to fight myself.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, it's so cool.
I was like the first character. I didn't even choose it. It's like some old looking dude. But my name's Bloodsport on there.
Yeah,
John-Claude.
That's what I'll talk about.
John-Claude Van Damme.
Keep it real, bro. You gotta watch the new one. They got like the last Kumite coming out.
Those are rough.
Yeah,
those are rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
They're rough to watch. But Bloodsport still it's classic though. That one's timeless.
Billy Blanks though, bro.
Yeah,
Billy Blanks.
You know. Let's move on.
We're watching it.
Let's move the fuck out.
No, we're fucking watching it, Mike. I'm making you watch it.
So you've had a few fights already. You have a number one contender fight in February from an unnamed contender.
Breaking news.
What are you doing right now to train for that fight? Are you changing up your game plan at all? Are you training harder? What are you doing?
Well, unfortunately, I've been sick, so I had a good 140-hour fasting period to get myself readjusted. But I have been doing a lot of neck workouts. I have a head harness, and I use that as well as, I do curls, a lot of work for strength in the arm because I did come off a really bad injury with my biceps, so I'm trying to regain all that strength.
Yeah, we'll talk about that really quick. You had this is during the season,
right?
You had a really bad bicep injury. What was that like?
Yeah, so 2 days before my fight, because unfortunately the heavyweight division imploded during the season, everyone dropped out or got kicked off. So I only had one fight in the house. That was against the Jello Giant, Lane Crespo. But 2 days before, I unfortunately blew my bicep tendon. My bicep rolled up into my shoulder, and it looked like that was doomsday for me. But I was like, you know what? This is once in a lifetime. This is a big deal. You know, you didn't see it on the show itself, but the match was the main event for the whole entire show. Like, this was the very last match for the season. So I was like, I can't not have a fight. You know, I came all the way out here. I lived in a house with no cell phone, no TV, no radio. You know, I couldn't do anything really, and I'm just gonna come there to live there that strenuous life and just leave with an injury. So I was like, no, I'm going in there. I'm fighting with the left. I'm gonna give it the best I can. You know, I was confident in my left, even though I had a torn forearm at that time too, so I couldn't train this for 2 months prior to that. But I still went in there. You know, I gave it my best. Some people say that if I didn't foul on the first hit, I probably would have won the match. So it was just a gamble, but it was good. But the recovery was just, I mean, a lot of athletes talk about, the training, the fighting and stuff like that is hard, but the worst is coming back from an injury and that PT and just, coming back from zero strength to, I'm the number one. I have the most power in the league by numbers. I have to uphold that. And it's like, dude, I just blew my biceps, so I'm starting from scratch. So yeah, it was really tough on the mind. And they didn't really give me an easy path because they gave me Darius the Destroyer, who's the heavyweight greatest of all time, as my return match. So I mean, I won. I thought I devoured him. I went out there to embarrass the next person that I'm playing. That's what I go out to do. I think I did that. So
that was a huge victory too, because he's probably one of the more popular names in slap fighting. He's had some legendary fights when they played back a lot of his stuff, especially during the season of Road to the Title. The dude is a freaking tough dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, you went the distance with the guy, and I thought you clearly beat him, and he also fouled out, correct?
Third round he clubbed me. He clubbed me twice. So what happened was
he ate that shit too.
Oh yeah, like he was hitting me, like karate chopping me in the neck, and it was really strange because he was really twisting his hand too. Like he was really trying to chop me, Hong Kong Philly style. But it was a big victory for me, man. Like I said, for me, I had a lot of respect for Darius. He is a big name. 17-0. He went 17-0. That's 17 guys he beat in a row. I don't care who you are. That's insane, He even beat Wolverine 27 slaps, in one match, which is just ridiculous. So going up there, I was freaking out, man. I accepted the fight, but after I accepted it, I'm like, Jesus, I'm just coming back from this ridiculous injury, man. They're not giving me the easy road, but I took it. It was a challenge. I love those challenges. And yeah, I went out and I beat him. He's still one of the greatest of all time. Big shout out to Darius, much respect to him. But I showed out, man. I went nuts.
Yeah, that was definitely a great fight that you had. And, but now after the bicep injury, are you back to being about 100% right now? You've obviously been training. I've talked to you a lot, and you've been doing some PT. You've been training. How are you? You got the same power than before you started that season one when
no, definitely
they measure your strength?
No, definitely not. I definitely lost a lot of power with that. I would say about 50% with Darius as far as power was concerned. I did hit the cube before I went up there. And I hit it for a high number. I mean, 40K. That's better than everyone in season 2 still. And I felt like that was weak. So no, there's a lot more power that I can get out of this arm. I'm still working it. I don't know what my number would be right now, but I have been working it. And, we're in a month stretch right now because February 9th, like you said, that's a number 1 contender fight. So now it's I'm going to pick up the steam pretty hardcore. And hopefully by the time I'll be back to 100% power when I get there.
Yeah. Like, how do you gain you've been working out throughout your life, and you've done boxing at strong style and stuff. Like, you've been pretty good shape for a while too. Like, how do you get that much power though? Because what was that really big power lifter that you had like as much power then when you guys, you know?
Brian Shaw, the world's strongest
yeah.
man, bro. Yeah, he was $4 grand less than I can hit, and he's 400 pounds.
Where does it come from?
I think it's just really my just rage, man. I don't know. I can like really tap into something different. You could see it like during if you watch my match.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah. When you when you see my match with Darius, I just woke up from a nap, and all of a sudden I'm like, "What's up, bitch?" It's just like, boom. And but I think about some of the worst things in my life that's happened to me. There's one thing that triggers me the most, and then once I hit that, it's just like boom. And then with Darius though, the one thing that was very different with Darius is that I knew I was going up there to take a hit, and that is so crazy. Someone asked me, they're like, you know, actually last night, they're like, when you go, is it different from a regular fight when you go up to the table and do power slap? When you know you're about to take that first hit unguarded, it's crazy. It's on your mind throughout. You know, as soon as you find out that you're going to take that hit, it was just on my mind the whole time for like a month. So it's really it's scary. I mean, if I didn't say it was scary, I'd be lying to you. But you know, you take that, and if you've been through hardships in life and you've been through some really tough times, you know, you can actually use that fear and use that to give you extra power. And I think that helps me. I think that rage, that just me being able to turn it into the positive is something that gives me extra power. But I mean, I lift heavy. You coached me before the house. I think that helped tons. I mean, you had me on the ground whimpering for dear life. God damn it. So, but you know, drinking protein, steaks, and weights, just hitting the weights hard. I was doing 2-a-days. You know, when I was seeing you, I would go at lunchtime, and then I'd come see you at Strong Style. So I was hitting it hard. And
the big gulps from 7-Eleven.
Oh, I forgot the big. Damn, I knew I was forgetting something. And I went to 7-Eleven too. But anyway, yeah, the big gulps. You know, the free drinks I get now from 7-Eleven. I'm getting free big gulps, baby. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. You know, everything. It seems like it's gone really well for you to this point. Probably much better than you ever thought it was going to be. How's this like changed your life? You know, from your experience so far getting into PowerSlap.
I mean, this probably might be an odd answer, but it's been more stressful, bro. It's really difficult because you don't know what people are thinking. This is new, so you want to be at the top. You know, you want to be the face. You know, because I was the face. When they had the Road to the Title 1, it was Darius, Wolverine, and then my face right at the bottom. You know, that was it. No one else. So I'm used to being like the top guy. The injury, you know, it took a little bit away from my push. Also, they've changed some of the brass. You know, there's new people in new positions. Just having it, like, I got a podcast now. You know, I got way more friends. You know, all the guys from PowerSlap. But it's just it's stressful, but it's fun. It's a good stress, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. I've known you for a while, you know, for years now, and we became really good friends. At least I think we are really good friends.
No, I think we're great friends, actually.
And you know, I
wish I lived closer.
I see you more stressed for sure, and I definitely see though that it seems like you're a lot happier though, because it seems like you have some good bonds with you know, a lot of the guys that you met through PowerSlap so far.
Yeah.
And I get to meet some of them too. Really cool freaking people. When I was down in Vegas with you, that was a really good time. That's one of my more, you know, and I wasn't there for a long time. It was for like a day or so, but it was a very good experience that I had, you know. So really good people.
They're just like us, you know what I mean? Like, you met Devin. Devin, cool as hell. Dorian, John Davis, you know, all the guys. We're just all normal guys. Just, you know.
Devin's, though, he's different. He's from a different planet.
Devin's the man, dude. I love, even though he is different, he is the man. I love him.
He's like one of the most interesting men in the world. Like he's like one of those guys where you're like, what did he do? What is he getting into? And it's, you know, and then he comes in, he has like painted nails, and he's proud of it. But I was like, okay, you normally I'm like, oh, what? But he pulled it off. He pulled it off.
Right.
Yeah.
I questioned it too. I mean, like, I'm like, you got the nails painted. He goes and gets pedicures. He's got tattoos all over his head. But he's
a scary looking dude too.
He's a scary and he is a scary motherfucker because he does fight. I mean, he's bare knuckle fought. He's been on the cover of that one video game, the MMA, the Supreme MMA video game that came out years.
Yeah, he was like in commercials too. It was like
he knows
weird.
John
Yeah.
Cena. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy guy, man. He's shout out to Dapper Slapper though, Devin. He's got a new vodka coming out called Dapper Vodka. So
Dapper vodka.
yeah, check
I like
liquor
it.
stores.
Yeah, nice. Sounds fancy. Check your nearest 7-Eleven.
Get those nails painted.
But so you got the so I talked a little bit about your training. You got the fight in February. So what happens? You win that fight, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna win that fight. What's next after that? Do you get a title fight?
Yeah, championship fight. Yep, whoever's got the title. I think probably be the belt because he's not fighting. So yeah, number one contender fight, straight to the title after that.
All right. What are you you haven't fought him before, but you've seen him live. What do you think of him as a champion, and what do you think of his power and his abilities?
Yeah, I love the Bell, man. Me and the Bell are good friends. He was actually an assistant coach on season 1 as well, so I got to get to know him very well. He's a good guy. He's very level-headed. He is kind of funny, but he's going to be a lawyer. It's just everyone thinks of a slap fighter like we're the scum of the earth. But then you're the one guy. I remember one guy was like, "You don't see doctors or you don't see lawyers getting up there slap fighting people." I'm like, "Man, I went to school for nuclear medicine, and the Bell is going to be a lawyer." I'm like, "You couldn't be more wrong." But no, I like the Bell a lot, but he's got what I want. I'm going to take it from him, unfortunately, and he's just going to have to take a back seat for a little bit there until I'm going to defend it. I'll win it. I'll defend it, and then I want to drop down, and I want to do what I plan to do, and that's beat Wolverine. And I'm going to drop down and beat Wolverine for the light heavyweight title.
Oh wow! Does he know that you're eventually gunning for him?
Yep, he knows it. He wants it too, which is great because we talked about it, and it was funny because I don't know if anyone knows this, but fan of mine, but during the season, he's like, "Hey man, after your fight, you want me and you go 1-on-1? We'll see if they'll let us go slap for slap." I'm like, "You're a sick man." I love it though. But Wolverine was, I would say not 100%, but I would say about 80% of the reason why I'm doing this is because I saw Wolverine just wiping out the competition, and I was like, I could beat that guy. So here I am.
Yeah, that dude's a beast.
Monster.
Yeah, like I said, seeing it live in person, it's you guys are built differently. More so in the mind, So what's really like your biggest goal for PowerSlap overall? You said that's obviously that, but there's the money side of things. Is there a financial goal that you have for PowerSlap?
Yeah.
And is it because right now it's just getting started? These guys aren't getting paid in the millions yet. Is that something that's possible, to kind of shoot for the stars?
Yeah, you would think, because we of all the backing we have and all the news that comes out saying like we're a $450 million company now. We're not publicly traded yet, but the company is booming. As far as the money is concerned, the money is good for what it's worth. There's a lot of guys who go into bare knuckle or train all their lives just to make a lot less than what I'm making now. So I'm hoping that things turn around with money and this could, progressively be a career. However, I'm not thinking that way. For me, I got a lot of responsibilities on the back burner anyway. So I have to make money constantly or I'm going to drown. So I do have a day job. My career, I love my career. I work from home, so really it's like me just, being my own boss, even though I do have higher ups. Was just promoted to business development manager, so things are going good there too. And I think when you asked me the question, how is PowerSlap, and I said it was stressful, I think a lot of that stress also comes from juggling both PowerSlap and my career. No, it's that's holding me, holding me good. And I don't want to say I look at PowerSlap as a well-paying hobby, but that's what it is to me right now. because I can't look at it any other way until like we are making millions. And if that happens, then shit, we're gonna be kicking ass.
Do you think it's something that's possible in that sport for them to get paid comparable to UFC fighters, or is that a stretch to say that?
No, I think it is a reality. The sponsorships that we got, you know, are big. They're big time. We have a big sponsor coming through for this next event for Super Bowl. I heard Bud Light. You know, even though Bud Light's not is not America's favorite beer right now, but I know they're changing around. And I think they're signing up for. They're going to be one of our biggest sponsors for PowerSlap. So, yeah, I would think the money is there. I mean, Dana White said himself, we're worth $450 million. Where is that going? You know, come to the fighters, please. Give me some of that money. But, yeah, I think it's possible, but it's probably going to be years down the road. And we'll see. You know, we really don't know the longevity of an athlete for slap fighting yet. You know what I mean? So it really depends, you know. Will I see that money? I don't know. Did Royce Gracie or any of the guys who first started UFC see that money? Yeah, so possible.
So talking about Dana White, he's definitely been supportive in you so far in this journey with you slap fighting. What's that been like? Getting to know him a little bit, and what are your kind of your overall opinions on him that you've got to know him as much as you did so far?
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. What surprised me most about Dana is that he's really, really down to earth. You know, you see someone with that kind of stature. I mean, the guy's in the news every day, and he runs the UFC. For me, he's been someone I've looked not so much looked up to, but I've definitely taken a lot of inspiration from him, especially with how I invoke my business. And do things on that side. You know, I always want to be on the side of truth. So, you know, seeing him do his thing and just saying, hey, man, you know, if you're going to tell me what to do and it's involving money, then I don't want you as my team. And I like that about him. I like that he goes up to bat for his people. You know, when COVID hit, he didn't shut down. He just figured out a way to keep it going. You know, any obstacle that comes in Dana's way, he seems to find a way to overcome it. And that, to me, is huge. You don't see people, you know, with that type of fortitude to just, you know, something as big as that. That could have ruined the whole UFC. But this dude's like, I'm buying an island.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
And it's like, holy shit, man. Like, who thinks of that, you know? Like, Dana White, you know? Dana White is just in a league of his own, and no, meeting the guy, talking to him from time to time, you know, I wish him, you know, happy holidays, and he'll write back. A lot, from what I hear, a lot of people don't even hear from him at all. So I'm just lucky, blessed that, you know, I'm on the good side of the man, and hopefully we have more things coming.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan throughout the years, and I love what he's done with the UFC and where he's taking the sport right now. And when he started the PowerSlap, you know, it was like there's a lot of question marks, but it's turning out to be pretty successful compared to what people thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we're crushing the views, man. It's just when he says, oh, take the F1, the NFL, this and that, combine them, and their views don't equal ours. Yeah, he's not lying. I mean, I got one video that's got 80 million views. That's like a whole 6 months of the NFL, you know, combined. It's crazy, man.
So talking about that, obviously you got to meet a lot of really cool people, a lot of professional fighters, people from like all over the world at the Apex.
Yeah.
You know, it was very interesting to see the crowd there. There was people that I never would have thought I would have ever seen in my life. I'd probably say, who was like one of the number one people that you got to meet so far in your experience, you know, competing there? You know?
Yeah, good question. As far as I would say UFC athlete is concerned, Cowboy Cerrone. He's shit. I think he's everyone's favorite, right? You know, just being able to, I literally hung out with him for a little bit, and you know, he was chopping it up with me and some of the other guys. You know, he had his elbow on my shoulder, like just talking, like it's just crazy, you know. And it was cool to meet him. Dana White, obviously, you know, that was huge. You know, I try not to get very starstruck. And I didn't get struck with either of them. But, you know, those are just two names that obviously are just, like, huge. You know, they're legends. But you know, Nina's really cool. Nina Drama, she does a lot of content. She was really cool to meet. I didn't know her previous until this, but she's Playboy Playmate of the Year. She's just a really famous person, and she was just really cool. Like you would think a lot of these people would be stuck up, but so far people have been very very down to earth, except for Chuck Liddell, who was plastered drunk, and it was very hard to talk to him. But shout out Chuck Liddell, bro. Jesus Christ, get your shit together. But you know, it's I can't wait to see who else, because you know, I mean,
Michael Bisping though too. Did you did something happen with him, with you and him?
No,
not bad. Didn't he want somebody to slap him at one of these events?
Yeah, he got one guy to slap him, and it, I don't know, it caused like an uproar. But I'm not talking that guy he slapped, he deserved it. But no, but Bisping, yeah, Bisping, that's another guy, and it's funny because like I didn't even think of that, because I see him all the time, talk to him all the time. It's like I'm not taking it for granted, but that's how crazy it is. Like I actually know these people. So yeah, Bisping too. I mean, shoot, you can go Laura Sanko. I met DC. I met, you know, I mean, I was on the stage and I'm screaming at Deontay Wilder. Like,
what were their opinions on the sport? Because they all came from, it's a very formal way of training with high level coaches.
Yeah.
What do you think their reactions have been so far? Because those guys are like, they've been training, you know, a freaking lifetime in combat sports, and then to see PowerSlap, you know, what did it seem like their reactions were to that?
No, well, for Bisping, for one, he loves it. He's been here since the beginning, so I think he's really latched onto it. You know, let's say like, because we had Laura Sanko, we had DC and Kamaru Usman watch it, and looks like they're having a blast with it too. I think fighters on that level are kind of looking for something like this to take a break. You know, you watch MMA, it's great. I mean, you're watching people do things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at a super high level. You may not understand it, but it's always a super high level. You know, the boxing, Muay Thai, things like that. You know, some people just want to shut off and just watch something for, you know, however long. And I think that's what PowerSlap hits the right notes. It's a very, you know, it's 3 rounds, it's like a 10-minute match. You know what I mean? But you know what you're gonna get. Like you said, it's like a swing. Everyone's quiet, and the hit, and they're, you know. So I think MMA people are starting to come around. I think they all loved it when they first saw it. Sean Strickland was freaking out. I saw. I think they're loving it. I think the more they see it, the more they like it.
Right. Now to kind of go into the next thing, talking about slap fighters, you mentioned some people that you would like to, you know, compete against.
Sure.
Well, what about on a celebrity standpoint? If there's either like 3 people that you met that you would love to have a slap fight against, or people that you've never met before that you would just love to get in a match against.
Man, I don't. I mean, there's a guy out there who's on the internet a lot, and his name is Hassan Piker. I heard a lot about this guy. I would love to slap that dude. He needs a good slapping. I think anyone who any soy boy, you know, anyone that's you know, not acting like they should be, not a man, you know, I think those people need to be slapped, because I'll slap anyone, man. I mean, just, you know, throw a couple G's in front of me, let's get slapping.
Yeah, it seemed like anybody that they even mentioned to you know, put you up against, you're like, I don't care, I'll do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's you know, everyone thinks it's like super violent. And maybe this is what separates me from other guys, is that I don't look at it. I don't look at the slap as a hard shot at all. I look at it as just a slap. You know, I just go up there, I'll stand there, I'll take a slap, give one back. You know what I mean? I haven't, you know, knock on wood, I haven't found anyone who could knock me down or knock me out with a slap. So, it's such a weird mind trick, this whole thing. It's a lot on the mind. It's a lot physical, sure, but in my opinion, it's a lot more on the mind. And if you could just shut off, go up there, you know, have fun, I probably won't get. I don't think I'm gonna get knocked out ever. But they're throwing some big animals. The top 5 are some big ass animals. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a few of those guys. I mean, you know, the number 1 contender on there is like 6'5", 260, 270.
Bring it.
Scary. Yeah, right.
Fucking bring it, baby.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready.
That's the difference between me and you. I'm like, no, and you're like, bring it.
Yeah, a little crazy. It's all right.
So PowerSlap, I mean, what's you know, we talked about your overall goal, your end goal and stuff. Where do you think the sport is going to go, and after you're done with PowerSlap, is this something that you want to still continue growing along with?
Yeah. I've been here since the beginning, so I definitely want to see it till the end. Of course, I feel like just as much as this is Dana's baby, it's as much as my baby. I've actually said that to him. I'd love to perform, compete until I can, and then when I can't no more, hopefully, I can transition into something more. Be an announcer, analyst, anything of the sort. I've actually, when I was injured,
I think you'd be great at that.
Yeah, I think
I think of anybody better.
Yeah, I think they do too, and that's great. They did have me as a coach as well, so I coached almost every event when I was injured. So coaching, I can always do coaching. I'm one of the top coaches for them. Dana White said that in one of his pressers. I'm ready to see where it goes. I'm hoping, like we talked about before, that the money starts pouring in for us, and we'll see what we can do from there. I do believe that it's going to get as big as the UFC at some point, for sure.
To kind of wrap this up, what advice would you give me if I'm somebody that wants to get into that sport? Where do I get started with that right now? Because it's a lot bigger now. Like, they're not just opening the doors to anybody. If I want to start getting into slap fighting, how do I begin? Where do I go?
Well, I mean, really, it all comes down to, it's hard to say because the parameters have shifted. Like you said, it's getting bigger. So they're looking for more athletic people. They want people with the 6-packs, the male model looking guys. That's how I like to call them. They like to see, if you have any sort of technique, practice on your slap. You want to get some technique, hit the bob, hit the bag, whatever you have to do. But I don't think the average Joe is going to be able to get in anymore. That's honestly, I'm kind of the average Joe, right? And I was lucky enough to be thought of only because I've had, the person that told them about me, knows, I'm a tough guy. He's seen me fight people on the street. But I don't think they're taking people like that anymore. If you see season 2, it's people that are established, and MMA fighters, bare knuckle fighters, guys who have been lifting, guys who look good. They like that, that's a big part, is they like guys who look good, you know what I mean? Or girls who look good, because there are girl slap fighters too. So it's really hard to say. You just got to put the application in. You can go to PowerSlap.com. They got a little space there. You can put your stuff in. If you have a big following, that's a plus too. It's just really all about attraction.
Yeah, because I asked you a couple times, and it just seemed like there wasn't really a specific role, because it seemed like they were pulling people from everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see where the sport is going. And like, there's one of your buddies, the Slap for Cash.
Yeah.
He was just basically doing that for money in YouTube videos or something. I mean, how was he doing that?
Yeah, it's all he was paying people, to take a slap, and he would record it and then put it on the IG, and dude's got like over 1 million followers because of it. But yeah, I guess that's someone who's been doing it since like 2012.
Right.
So of course you would want to get some guy like that, and especially since we didn't have any super heavyweights. We started building that division. So you definitely want a guy like that. He's got 1 million followers. He's got a name. Been on TV shows. He's like 500. He was 500 freaking pounds.
Huge, dude.
Yeah. So you have him and another super heavyweight. that's marketing all day. We got a ton on the stage. That's 2 people. And so yeah, you want a guy like that. But it's hard to say. Like I said, a lot of the guys on season 1, season 2, albeit there was a lot of fighters, but there was a lot of like normal Joe Schmoes. But now they're really gearing themselves towards like people who have combat experience, people who have done extraordinary things. Also, they're looking for people internationally more now too, because we want to start, diving into those markets there, which are extremely popular. But I really couldn't tell you what they want because I don't even know anymore.
So now to wrap this last thing up, right? Because there's always going to be hate on the sport.
Bring it.
I'm an internet troll.
I love it.
I'm in front of you right now, and I'm like, I'm talking some shit, but I'm like, slap fighting is not a real sport, right? You're gonna defend it by your words. You're gonna slap the shit out of me. What what is your response to that?
If I had a troll in front of me, I would probably whip out my phone and show them the one-eyed wolf match I had. I wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, here, watch this. Watch how they react. They'll probably watch it top to bottom. A lot of the haters or the people detracting from this are people who haven't watched it. It's very odd. They're making assumptions off of 10-second videos or what someone else say. 9 times out of 10, you get someone to sit down and actually watch it. They're gonna enjoy it. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Don't get me wrong, but goddamn, it's entertaining. People, you sat there live. Were you entertained?
Very much.
Absolutely. So, I don't really have much to say to the haters, really. I let them hate. I let them keep talking. I got a ton of haters. If you go on my last fight with Darius, there's just people talking all sorts of shit, saying I'm 40 years old. Why am I acting like that? This, that, the other thing. Really don't care what you have to say, buddy. But to answer their question, why am I acting like that? Because I'm just having fun, man. Just let me have fun. I don't know. I don't want people. We got a term for that. Fun sponge. You're soaking up all the fun. Quit it. Just let me have fun.
I think you have a good mindset for it. Not everybody could take the punches like you do. So yeah, is there
or
anything?
The slaps, right?
Yeah, right. Is there anything you'd like to add to finish out this podcast at all? Anything you'd like to say?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you and Strong Style. That the time I was at Strong Style, which was about 2015. On was some of the toughest days of my life, man. My mom was in and out of the hospital. Family things were just going awry. And Strong Style was something I knew I needed, but I just didn't realize, until I got there, how much I really needed it. It was like walking into a new family, my fight family, per se. Meeting guys like you, Alexa, John Hawk, Mike, Mike Zach, just people that were there. It really helped me get through the darkest of times. That was the darkest. You knew me and met me at my darkest, bro. So I big shout out to Strong Style for giving us all a place, to the House of Truth, to go to and just live in that environment, just full of champions and just really a lot of people who have persevered through some tough times. Cody Stevens was just on. That dude is a maniac, man. He fighting through a broken jaw. I saw him fight in Mansfield, and he had broken leg. The dude is the epitome of a bad fucking ass. And just being around people like that, man, it gave me so much confidence to push through. Like seeing people that are going through the meat grinder, and seeing how they come out on top and persevere. That helped me a lot with what I was going through. So Strong Style saved my life. The thank you, Marcus too. Big shout out to Marcus. He probably doesn't know that at all, but Strong Style is a very, very big, a big time in my life that I'll never forget, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. But other than that, just follow the king, man, the king of kings, Ryan Phillips on. You go on Instagram _king_Ryan Phillips. I have a podcast that we do with other slap fighters. On Thursday nights at 9, or we try to get at 9. Sometimes I take a nap, and that nap, once you get up there,
Goes a little past 9.
Yeah, once you get up there in age, it's it's no longer 10 minutes. It's more like 4 hours. So, 9 o'clock Thursdays. It's called the Barefisted Podcast. It's basically a couple guys just shooting the shit and having a good time, just like we're having right now. But other than that, just thanks to all the fans, thanks to everyone who's watching and giving PowerSlap a chance. You should definitely try it out, give it a shot. Hopefully I get a lot of support on February 9th. I'm going to need it. But yeah, this is awesome, man. I'm so happy for everything that's going on with Strong Style, especially you, man. You're killing it, bro. Props to you, bro. You always push through, man.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. Well, way to wrap it up. Thanks for coming on, and we'll get you on after your next fight in February. So after the Super Bowl, we'll get you on again, and I'm sure there's a lot more that we could talk about.
Oh, you know it, baby. I'm gonna go fucking crazy on that stage. I'm bringing the title back to Cleveland, baby. Mark my words, it's coming.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, well, good chatting with you.
You too, brother.
Cool.